Mad at Disney was one of the first songs I wrote when I moved out to LA. I dropped out of college after my second year, and I moved here with some of my friends and just decided to throw myself into it. And I remember for the first few months definitely being a little freaked out at the adjustment because, you know, much like a Disney movie, you think that moving to LA is going to be this glamorous experience, and you know, you think of Hollywood and the stars on the pavement, but in reality it's definitely not like what the movies tell you it is. So I wrote Mad at Disney with Benedict Moeller, who is my boyfriend, and Jason Haas, who is our good friend. I said, "How are you doing today, Jason?" And he said, "Honestly, I'm a little mad at Disney," because the night before, he had just seen the new Lion King, the live action version, and he did not think it was as good as the original that we all grew up with. So that kind of started an avalanche of talking about reasons why we're all mad at Disney. I was most mad at Disney because of the archaic princess stereotype that is very present in the movies that I grew up with. All of the princesses, you know, were portrayed as the damsel in distress and someone that needed to be saved. They always relied on the prince to, you know, break the spell or get them out of the tower or slay the dragons. But in reality, we don't need to be saved. You know, women can slay their own metaphorical dragons.
I'm mad at Disney, they tricked me, had me wishing on a shooting star.
I feel like I was tricked by most of the older princess movies because that's what I grew up watching over and over and over again. Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, the list goes on. Those were on my, you know, weekly rotation of movies to watch when I was about 4.
But now I'm 20-something, I still know nothing about who I am or what I'm not.
I'm still learning who I am. Honestly, I still don't know fully who I am. I think I'm learning more about myself every day and more about, you know, actual reality as opposed to the Disney fantasy that everyone wishes they lived in.
So call me a pessimist, but I don't believe in it. Finding a true love's kiss is bullshit.
I was actually referencing Sleeping Beauty because she has to be woken up by true love's kiss. And, you know, you just hear it mentioned or referenced in so many different ways, like, oh, true love's kiss, love at first sight. I am pretty pessimistic, especially when it comes to romance. I don't know why, I don't know what made me like this, but I'm not very romantic. I'd say I'm pretty anti-romantic just in general. And it was also really funny because I wrote this song with my boyfriend and he knows that I'm not, you know, a stereotypical girly girl when it comes to romance. I don't really like getting flowers and chocolate. I would rather just, you know, have a chill night and eat Chinese food. So yeah, I think that kind of stemmed from my internal pessimism.
'Cause I felt sad love, I felt bad love, sometimes happy love turns into giving up. I felt hurt love by the word love.
I've Been Hurt Love by the Word Love is actually a reference to one of my older songs called Bad Word. I wrote that song about 3 years ago, and I don't think I had ever said I love you to anyone. It was one of my biggest fears. I was so scared of telling someone that I loved them because for some reason I feel like the second I told them I loved them, they would, you know, break my heart. I was just really scared to be vulnerable. So yeah, that was a little bit of an Easter egg from an older song of mine.
What the hell is love supposed to feel like?
What the hell is love? What is it supposed to feel like? And the best definition we could come up with is that love is actually not a feeling, it's all of the feelings combined. And that's because, you know, when you think of all the times you've been in love in your lifetime, it's felt different every single time. I think it's one of the only emotions that everyone can experience completely differently. Like, everyone knows what happiness feels like. Everyone knows their own version of what sadness feels like. But when you say, like, what does it feel like to be in love? Everyone's going to have a completely different answer. And it totally depends on the person, on the relationship, on the type of love. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to unpack that a little bit in the chorus.
My fairy grandma warned me Cinderella's story only ended in a bad divorce.
So I decided to say fairy grandma instead of fairy godmother. One, because the syllables fit better with grandma. I'm not gonna lie, that was the first instinct. But then I started thinking about, who would give me this type of advice. And I feel like my grandma has the best guy advice. I love, talking to her about guy problems, and, her relationship, because she's been married for many, many years, to my grandpa. They're very, very cute together, even when they fight.
The prince ain't sleeping when he takes his sleeping beauty to the motel on his Snow White horse.
The original second verse was, I thought that Shakespeare nailed it, but damn, he failed me when I saw him on a Hallmark card. It's now Bachelor season, 30 girls competing over who won't get a broken heart. But we thought that it was best to maybe leave Shakespeare, Hallmark, and The Bachelor out of it, since we were already saying we were so mad at Disney. So we got together and we tried to write a verse that was, more themed around Disney. And we thought the coolest way to do that would be to explain what happened after the happily ever after, and after true love's kiss and all of that. So we thought, what if Cinderella got divorced? And what if the prince, actually cheated on her with Sleeping Beauty? I feel a little bad because I feel like in some ways, if, young people are listening to that, they might get their hopes crushed a bit. I feel like I, accidentally told someone that Santa's not real. If you're watching this, Santa's real.
I'm mad at Disney, they tricked me, no more wishing on a shooting star.
I'm not sure when I started to get mad at Disney, but it was definitely at an early age. I recently found a video of one of my first performances ever when I was about 9 years old, and I was singing a song that I'd written, and the lyrics were something like, fairy tales don't have happy endings, they're not going to leave their pages, I'm going to break the spell by myself, like I'm not going to wait around to be rescued. It was crazy. It was like very much a precursor to Mad at Disney, so I guess I was mad for a while. The cool thing about all the Mad at Disney videos on TikTok is that I actually couldn't really pick up on one trend. There are so many different types of videos. So there are some amazing makeup artists. I've also seen some amazing dance videos, some videos with animals. There's a few that Cody Antle did with tigers that is super cool and a little bit terrifying, but it's awesome.